been seeing some law students, up and coming law students, ask for advice on this app. And so here are my thoughts, being 1 year out from graduating law school, passing the bar exam, and working in my dream field of intellectual property. And this one's going to be themed about grades and studying specifically. First piece of advice that I would do again in a heartbeat: at the end of the exam, go home. Don't stand around and talk about the exam or what was on the exam, just go home. Secondly, two of the best pieces of advice that I received as far as studying goes that I wish I had done more of. The first one is, even in the second week of your class, start looking at the example questions that you would run into for the subject matter you're learning that week. If you're in torts and you're on week 5 or week 4 and you start covering negligence, even if you don't feel confident with the subject matter yet, go ahead and start looking at practice questions that have to do with that subject matter. Don't worry about getting them right or wrong. You just want to know how the material is tested. How are the questions written? How are the answers written? It goes a long way. Secondly, one of my favorite pieces of advice was from a professor. He essentially taught that when you create an outline, which I am of the camp that you should create your own outline, and I refer to it as treating it as your Russian nesting doll. You know, those dolls where you open one up and there's a smaller one inside, you open it up and there's another one inside, and so on. At a certain point towards the end of the semester, you're going to have your whole outline pretty much ready to go. I want you to take that, dedicate a few hours to condensing that even more. And then you're going to take that and you're going to try and do it even more. Like, basically you're trying to distill it even more down into the most important information that you would need for exam day. That's usually going to look like a rule statement. If you're able to define all the major legal terms that come up in your essay question, that is going to go a long way. Define the term that you're using to the best of your ability. And whenever you're giving your analysis, you want to be able to say, this happened because the court is more than likely going to rule this way because, and then you put your analysis there. You want to have because in your analysis as much as possible. Those are the best pieces of advice I received as far as studying goes, exams, grading. So this is part 1. This is just grading and classwork. I'll share more advice in the coming days as well.